episode we're talking about where people were just kind of snobby.
Yeah.
It's like, relax, man. Like,
yeah, chill the fuck out, bro.
Yeah.
And so, but yeah, I have some interesting stories. I don't know when I should dive into those versus you kind of talking about like a little bit.
I mean, I would say, because I think we have very different experiences. Yeah. There's definitely things about my experience at film school that didn't really work for me. I honestly, I did leave with, very similar to you. I had some or what do you call them? Like, not sponsorships. What were you saying? The
sponsorships. No, you like, lost me, bro.
No, you were saying like when you went to school, half of your tuition was covered. A grant or something.
Yeah, like a grant.
I had essentially, scholarship. Scholarship was the word I was searching for.
Okay.
So I had some of those, very similar situation, but I kind of got the vibe that this might sound kind of mean, that the reason those teachers were teaching was because they couldn't really go do the thing that they maybe wanted to do.
Right.
Like, say, for instance, if you're like an elite cinematographer, you know, if you were an elite cinematographer, you'd probably just be doing that. But the fact that they were at this school, and mind you, I had some insanely cool professors, and they were just retired, so they just taught for fun. But I had some teachers who were very bitter, and they were like in their young 30s, and kind of took it out on the students, because I kind of got the vibe that they were just like, didn't quite make it as a screenwriter, so they were just like a dick professor. And I was just like, dude, I'm sorry your like writing career didn't work, but you don't have to like, I don't know.
That's
and like would give us like harsh critiques for no reason.
That's the interesting thing with film school is you have these basically grown adults where technically they probably didn't really make it in their career. And I don't want to say that's the same or like that applies to all film school teachers, because my uncle who directed big Hollywood budget movies teaches at Azusa Pacific.
And look, I think to some degree we'll touch on it later, but like we even have a program in which we teach, and I don't want it to sound like, oh, well, isn't that what you guys do? You guys teach. It's like there's nothing wrong with teaching. I think teaching 100%. Is so awesome. It's like when you're a teacher that's like condescending, or kind of there's like an undertone of like you didn't make it, so you're I don't know. I definitely got that in film school.
I agree.
And I also will say the curriculum in certain classes was so dated. We'd be getting these textbooks, and some of the stuff was like, it was
a film. Gonna stop it right there. Bam. All right. Tom and Jake is talking about these tough professors. There's no way around it, man. And the reason I wanted to zero in on this, right, is because I don't want to just keep it to the teachers, right? This is just people in general. Like some people is just haters, and they're just gonna hate on you, right? Because of their own situation, right? Sometimes things don't work out the way we want to work out, and we put our frustrations and disappointment and anger and hatred onto other people. That's how we project it, right? And it's a tough conversation to have, because it happens to the best of us, right? It happens to all of us. And we have to accept that. We have to see that. Sometimes we can't see it. There's people who's like, yeah, but I'm not like that. When somebody says that, they're not really aware of their humanity. They're capable of doing anything. And it's by having that awareness that keeps us humble, that keeps us in line, right? We are capable of being haters, right? We are capable of knocking people down a notch because of our own disappointment, right? It is hard to be happy for somebody else when you're not happy with yourself. It happens. It happens in all professions, in all areas of life. And it also happens in film school, right? And it can happen with among students, among the faculty, and with the faculty and the students. It happens. You just got to become aware of the slick talking, the tough talking, and you got to become aware of, I guess, the ecosystem of the game, right? Because everything's a game, everybody's pieces, and you just got to become aware of what people's goals are and what they're trying to do. It's a lot. It's a lot. It sounds really bad. It sounds really evil and mean and silly and petty, but it's life. What is the moral of the story, right? Because, I'm rambling, but what am I really saying? What I'm saying is people is people. And just because a few people say that you're not good at what you're doing, don't mean that you won't become good eventually. And sometimes they're not seeing what you see. Film isn't a direct path. You can't get a map from A to B. You got to figure out your way in filmmaking, your journey, regardless of whatever it is you want to be. Whether it's a scriptwriter, a filmmaker, a cinematographer, so on and so forth. You have to figure out your end goal, right? Your journey is going to be different from other people's who have a clear map to their journey, because we all got to go through obstacles, right? And mind you, just because I say they got a clear map don't mean it's easy, right? It's not easy becoming a lawyer or a doctor or making a lot of these accomplishments, but there is a structure, right? And that's something that we don't have, right? So you got to learn how to develop that thick skin, right? And we need to know where it's coming from, right? Because, we're going to have tough nights and tough days when we're like, am I good enough? Do this make sense? Like, what's going on? And sometimes you just have to accept that people is people. Sometimes when people snap at you, it doesn't mean that you're the problem, right? Sometimes it is what it is. What do that mean? It means, why did this person snap at me, right? I didn't do nothing. I just said, excuse me. Because the person's not a morning person. Simple as that, right? And the person refused to grow. That's it, right? Because, saying, I'm not a morning person, you got to accept me for what I am. No, I get you're not a morning person, but you need to learn how to control that, right? Like, what your switches are, right? What ticks you off, and you got to learn how to control that, right? Because we can't walk around the world giving off this evil to other people. Whatever. So yeah, like I said, learn how to take criticism, develop that thick skin, and assess every situation on his own basis, right? And mind you, there's nothing wrong with becoming a professor, right? Whether it's because you're retired and you like teaching, whether it's because, teaching can also be a stepping stone, right? Some people end up there because, it's not the end of the line. Sometimes we feel like, oh yeah, they're teaching us the end of the line. Sometimes, it's a hustle. You have to survive. You got to pay the bills. You got to get a job. Why not get a job in the thing that you like doing? It just makes sense, right? So if there's nothing wrong with it, it's cool. But just be aware of people's criticisms and where it's coming from, and don't let it deter you. Or rather, surround yourself around people you can take advice from. This was a clip from Quick Takes with Tom and Jake. Go over there, check them out, like, subscribe, share. They got a bunch of other stuff in their bio and their links. Check them out, right? And as always, thank you for coming out here, chilling with me, right? I appreciate you. Thank you. And you already know, as always, until next time. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Check me out on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Leave a comment so that we can get a discussion going. Check out the Patreon. Check out the Turtle School. That's there for you. Tools to help you learn and write and create stories. Thank you, and I appreciate you.